I'm going to be very brief on this message. I sometimes come to life and speak a brief about the issues that are affecting displacing people, that are also affecting the people in South Sudan. And today, I wanted to talk a little bit about what I think the people of South Sudan can do. I will be speaking in English, and then I will close it in Nuëri for those who can understand me in Nuëri. Like I say, I pass my condolences for the lives that we have lost this week. Many young men lost their life from both sides, especially for the White Army, who were defending their family. Pass my condolences also to innocent South Sudanese who were sent to come to war, killed their own brothers. The family are also crying the same ways. So my condolences to all of you. I am calling, making this short and a brief message to people of South Sudan. And I wanted to, and this is the reason why I wanted you to share it with anybody who might be able to understand this. I am calling for a unity, and this unity is to reject what is now become a system of destroying the level of life and the country to where it will not be recovered. And this is to unite against Salva Kiir and Bolmel, his son-in-law. Why do I call people of South Sudan to actually unite and to have one voice to reject Salva and Bolmel? Many of you who are here, who will listen to this message, know how it came about. South Sudan is a new nation. It's still the youngest nation now on the planet. With independence in 2011, South Sudan has never enjoyed their independence. We have not achieved what we were supposed to achieve. From the time we got an independence, there was an election in 2010. That election, we saw from that election that we are leading to the dictatorial system, authoritarian system, autocratic system. Because even for those who wanted to contest it and were approved by their community, they were rejected by the system that wanted all people to only listen to one individual. That was a sign that we saw from that time that we're no longer going to have the need, we're not going to have the kind of country that we want. Because at a time when we were liberated South Sudan, we were yearning for unity, democratic system, rule of law, and the system that addressed the need of people of South Sudan. That was what we were fighting for, because we came from a system which we did not have the right like in other people. We were not we were not allowed to rule ourselves. We were not allowed to develop ourselves, the system that we have with Northern Sudan. So we thought if we were to have our own country, we will have the opportunity to reject the tribalism. We'll have an opportunity to develop the country of South Sudan, where the resources will be used to educate the younger people and also create jobs and peace. All of this were what the people of South Sudan were expecting when they were having a nation. But this thing was not true. What happened? Well, Salva decided to make the country of South Sudan its own family business. He has decided to only accept a few people who listen to him, who kneel down to him, who can loot, who can corrupt, who can destroy like him. And any times you act like that, you will be rewarded. When you reject it, you will either be jailed or killed. And most of these people end up taking all the resources the country had and invest them outside South Sudan. And instead of poor people in South Sudan to have the kind of a hope they had, they now lose the hope. They lost the country. Not only losing the access to resources, education, technology, and all the other stuff, they are losing their life. They are losing their life. So in 2013, Salva Kiir were able to divide us differently. The 2013 genocide that happened in Juba were intentionally made possible to create a division among the South Sudanese. And in fact, that really happened. When Nuëri were killed door to door, Nuëri responded to also kill some innocent Denka. And that's exactly what they were planning. They planned that this would be a war between Denka and Nuëri, and the rest of the South Sudanese will not do anything. They will just watch and see who is going to win. And while the intention is not just creating a war between Denka and Nuëri, and that's it, but to control the country, and the resources of the country. That's what he did, and he succeeded. Now, all this peace that was signed, they were not meant to be implemented according to him, because he doesn't want anything that would change the system that he had in place. He has now decided, he knows his time is coming to an end, and then he has decided to pick one of his son-in-law, to be the successor. Now, who is Belmel? For those of you who do not know him, learn more about him. Belmel was not a public servant. Belmel said that he was a judge armor. He might have been the judge armor, but what did he do? Belmel has not had a real job to serve people. It doesn't really seem like he's also a transparent or a transformational or a democratic person. It's more a transactional person who are actually looking for deal. You do it to him, or he will do it to you, or else you'll get it anyway. That's exactly what he did. Belmel controlled Salva by controlling Salva businesses. He controlled Salva by actually using the language that Salva won. And he has even put anyone else, all the other generals, all the other leaders in South Sudan who can also succeed, Salva, are now put away. So the next person in South Sudan will be Belmel. But is South Sudan going to be united under Belmel? Look what he did. Now, as we speak, innocent Nuëri are now being killed in Milikal, up and up, because of what happened in Ulang and Nather. Innocent Nuëri civilians are now being killed in Milikal as we speak. Why? This is because it works in 2013. He wanted to make it work in 2025. The intent is that this war has to be between Nuëri and Denka, and if Denka can unite, and maybe having Shuluk and other tribes unite with Denka against Nuëri, then who else is going to look for the power that Belmel will inherit from his father-in-law? No one. So he will have that. But is this power a Denka power, like some of you are saying? I don't think so, because innocent Denka are actually dying. The children are dying the same ways. They are not having development in Denka communities. I mean, even in Gorial or Warap or in other places. There's nothing that actually shown that this power is actually a power that Denka has. Denka are actually suffering the same way Nuëri are, the same way the Equatorians are. Majority of Bari or Madi or Kwakwa or any other tribe in the Equatorial, or Murule or Inyuak or Shuluk. they are also suffering the same ways. Who is benefiting from the division of South Sudanese? It's Sulfur, and now it's going to be Bull Mill. Anyone else will be picked up. But who can stop them? It's South Sudanese. You can stop them to create the South Sudan that we want. If we all unite together and say, no, we are not going to be put in a place that we were put in 2013, where brothers are going to kill brothers for the sake of one man. If you cannot demonstrate it in any language, in any way, you can talk to your kid and tell them, do not do this, or do not go and fight Nuëri or other South Sudanese on behalf of Bull Mill and Salva Kiir. Because these people they don't really have heart for South Sudanese. They don't have a mission for people of South Sudan. They don't have vision for the country. They don't want us. So why do we fight for them? So I think the initiative all South Sudanese can do right now is to unite. It's to unite and say enough is enough. We're not going to be divided with our brothers. And you can do this by talking to your relative, and even those that are deployed, to tell them do not go to war. Those who are trying to kill you, their innocent Nuëri in your community, do not allow that to happen. Because if you let it happen, it will exactly be the repetition of what happened in 2013, which actually benefit Sulfur and Bull Mill. We actually benefit the people who are not making anything happen for the people of South Sudan. That's why I think it is important for all the people of South Sudan to unite and say, this is not right. We cannot be like that. We cannot be a tool used by one or two person or a family that have no interest for people of South Sudan. Where is Sulfur spending its money? In Kenya, in Uganda, or in Juba, or even anywhere in Barigazal? Where is Bull Mill money? What company does Bull Mill have in South Sudan that actually employ young South Sudanese? What road? One road that I heard he was trying to put together between Bor and Juba that actually did not succeed. And he actually say he cannot even let this road go all the way to areas where Nuers are, because it would make it easier for Nuer to come and attack Bor. Is this the future leader that we want? He took a lot of contract to create businesses, to develop road, all the infrastructure in South Sudan. Where are this money end up as? Who is working for Bull Mill Company in South Sudan? Where is his money? So why would he be the future leader in South Sudan? We should reject him, because a leader has to have a heart for his people. A leader has to have a pain for the pain that his people are feeling. A leader has to have, and I mean it, a leader has to have a vision for his people, a vision for development, a vision for peace, a vision for technology as we speak now, a vision for education, health. What are all these things? These things are not accessible in South Sudan. So the leaders we have in South Sudan are not for people of South Sudan. And therefore, we should reject them from dividing us. Now, where is South Sudan globally? South Sudan now is a Slavic talk. People are laughing at us all over. When you just say you are South Sudanese, people will associate you with war and killing. That's what it is now. If sulfur meant for people of South Sudan, and instead of hire mercenary from Uganda to come and bomb women and children at night, at night, we're talking about 2 a.m. Innocent civilian be sleeping at 2 a.m. and the bomb would fall on them. And the innocent children and their mom who are not soldiers, who do not carry guns, will have the bomb falling on them in middle of night, middle while they're sleeping. This by itself is more than a crime. It is a humane. It's really something that somebody with heart cannot do. It is also a curse. You cannot kill people when they're sleeping. They die so sad. And you are hiring somebody to come and kill your own people. How does that make you feel good? So I'm telling you, my brothers and sisters from South Sudan, and please share it with whoever wanted to hear this. We can serve South Sudan. I know some of you may not agree with me, and that's fine. Some of you may think I already made a side. That's also true. I am not on the side of the killer. I cannot. I advocate, like any others, many of you who advocated for South Sudan, for people of South Sudan to be free. When these young men in Nasser respond to the situation that they find themselves in, because they have soldiers who were stationed in their own community who look at them as the enemies. Whenever they see a young man walking, they will just shoot him. When they see a girl walking around, they will just go ahead and rough her. When they see someone, his wife, they will go ahead and rough her. Even roughing the moms of the people who are men. I mean, imagine somebody come and rough your mother. Rough your mother, who might not even have a feeling of anything. How does that make you feel? How would it make you good? And when they request for the unified forces, what did they receive? They receive disarmament message, a killing afterward, and bombing for their mom at nighttime. If this cannot pain you as a person of South Sudanese, then you got to look at your heart. If this is done to any community, I will never support anyone who does this. Even if it's Nuëri communities, go to any community in South Sudan and do anything like that, I would never be with them. And I would also feel any South Sudanese who claim nationalism and who think we are people of the same unity, the same country, cannot endure this, cannot accept this. But we did it. Selfa did it intentionally, so he will create chaos that is happening now. So he will maintain this system through his children. Bolmel. Now look the situation that they say they have a peace with Iowa that they wanted to implement. But the peace leader, the peace partner, is now put to a critical situation. Is in a situation that we believe is alive, but he's not allowed to talk to anybody. It's not allowed to be seen by anybody. They rejected the envoys of IGAD. They rejected the envoys, the whites group from the African Union. The representative of the European Union is also rejected to meet him. Why is that? Why not hearing him? If they really wanted to make sense of themselves. And what does it tell you about the other part of the world? Remember, it was IGAD that were facilitating the comprehensive peace agreement that we have now in South Sudan that led to independent South Sudan. It was IGAD. It was also IGAD that worked together with Troika to ensure that we have an independence of South Sudan. It was also Troika through European Union and United States that actually empowered us, the people of South Sudan, and that made it clear that the people of South Sudan must decide what the future would be. It was also the people of the United States that are now seem to be having issue with them who actually made it possible for people of South Sudan to have South Sudan. They the one who championed the Sudan Peace Act. They're the one who actually ensure that people of South Sudan should go for independence. What else did what else they receive as a return of that? Bullying, disrespecting, misunderstanding, and of course, taking everything for granted, thinking that the United States is not a human that can say no. The United States has actually been supporting the mission in South Sudan, the UNIMIS, that was supporting the people of South Sudan by $billions. It also contributed significantly to refugees who are in Kenya, Uganda, Sudan, and also other part of the world who are Sudanese. How many of us has actually been displaced? How many South Sudanese? We have more than 5 million right now who are outside the country. We have over 90% of the people who are actually depending on the international aid inside the countries. And with this current crisis now, it's just going to be even triple. And what is left in South Sudan? Uganda army are now brought to South Sudan to sustain the same situation that we're having a discussion for. Are being given $200 a day. Even that $200 is not being received by the South Sudanese army even a month, leave alone a week. Some of them goes even few months or even years. And these are the people who actually sacrificed for South Sudan. Some of them were even during the liberation. Some have joined and fought war in Eglik, one and so many war. But they're now put into a condition where they make no sense. What is South Sudan? So anyway, I don't see how Bull Mill can succeed Salva Kiir. To do what? To continue killing the people of South Sudan? To continue creating a huge corruption that nobody will overcome? To continue making South Sudanese lovable by all part of the world? Because even though he is actually trying to bribe people internationally, we are being laughed at. Why? How can he succeed? But he's now being led to succeed by us being silent, by us being made to believe that we should defend our tribe and make this a tribal thing. And that's exactly what he was looking for. So my brothers from South Sudan, who are from Denka community, do not allow Bull Mills to create an unbelievable animosity between Nuëri and Dinka for generations or for centuries. Dinka and Nuëri have been living together. They have an extraordinary intermarriage. They are like another South Sudanese. We liberate South Sudan together. We were brothers and sisters. But right now, we're not. And this is because someone had the project of keeping us like that. If we continue to allow him as such, we will have no countries. And all of us will be blamed, especially you. It is time to say enough is enough. I think there could be other South Sudanese who can lead South Sudan for victory, for unity, for prosperity, and we can regain hope and trust and respect in the world. But with Salva and the people that he's trying to empower, we will be laughed at and we will lose what we have. I also wanted to say this. I know it is not easy. It's not easy to convince people, especially when people are going through a condition that we have today. But do not forget, if we cannot address this wisely, South Sudan will be divided into, disintegrated. Well, it disintegrated into regions. We will have the regions that will get themselves and live and rule themselves. We will have Upper Nile region, Equatorial region, and Bargazal region. Some people will suffer. Some people will, if they don't accept to be part of that region, they might be forced to leave where they are. Nuëri who are in the Bargazal region, if they're not welcome in that region, they might be forced to come to Upper Nile region. The same thing to Denka or other groups who might be also in Upper Nile region. The same thing what might happen in Equatorial region. This is not easy. This is not easy to bring groups like this together when you treat them the way we are treating each other today. We are now together on this very fragile unity, but with hope that we can mend it. We can be able to live together. But if the situation continues to be outside, it will be difficult. So my appeal to all of you is, why do we wait to disintegrate when we can fix it now? Fix it by rejecting what is now being done. The humane situation that we're going through, it could be rejected, and we can all gain unity that we need. And we can develop the country for good, for this generation and the generation that will follow. But if we are quiet, if we are not doing anything, we'll end up like that. And all of us will not appreciate it. But that might be what Sulfur is planning that we don't know. Uganda are benefiting from South Sudan. Now we have the third colonized in South Sudan. We have Turkey and Egyptian at one point. The Burundi came, and now is a Ugandan time. When we were all Sudanese together, the two groups, and then we liberate ourselves. Now we have Ugandans that are controlling the people of South Sudan in every aspect of our society. They are now controlling our businesses. So every goods come from Uganda. That's nothing bad about it, but people of South Sudan can also have goods that can also be sold in Uganda. But why are you depending on Uganda for everything that we have? They're controlling our politics. They're deciding who is going to be ruling South Sudan. Why? Why letting Museveni deciding the future of South Sudan politically, and actually rejecting our relationship with who we can have a relationship with. They wanted to have the weakest within our team so that they can manipulate them and use them as they want for them to gain the resources that we have in the country. Now they're also controlling our military and airspace, and also bombing our women and children on a daily basis with nobody saying anything. What have we become? If we knew we were supposed to be with Uganda aside, then would Uganda be better than Sudan? Did Sudan bomb women and children at night time? Sudan at the time, they used to bomb us, but they used to bomb military bases. They cannot go to the kɛɛliw camp, I never heard of it, and bomb children in a village at night. They didn't do that. They also did not kill people at door to door. There was a lot of South Sudanese in Khartoum, in Malakal, in Rang, in Juba, who were also even sympathizer to the movement that was outside of Sudan, that was outside. But they were not collected and killed. Some may have been jailed, but also released. And even those that were jailed, they were allowed people to meet to see them. Not as what they are doing now, to what is being done now to Dr. Rick. We actually had a reason for us to also have South Sudan. And one of the senior leaders, one of the architects of self-determination for people of South Sudan. Because somebody young wanted to be the leader today, it doesn't mean you have to disrespect the older people. What you're doing to him is wrong. Basically, it's wrong. And not allowing other leaders in the world to come and see him is also wrong. You shouldn't do that. It's anger, it's sadness can curse South Sudan. He's an elder enough. You can't treat him like that. Even Nuëri who are not happy with Dr. Riek will sympathize with Dr. Riek, and you will lose him. Because an elder in Nuëri is not allowed to be tortured in front of his children like that. You don't do that. You should allow people to talk to him. Bring the charges that he had and let people see those charges. If you have a court that has many, then do that. But again, people of South Sudan, if they were to unite, we have to reject what is now being done. Because what is being done to us will not have a future that we need. So with that, I wanted to turn now to Nuëri. My appeal to all of you is reject what is being done to us by people with no heart for us, people who cannot assist us, people who do not even love us, people who do not want to see us succeed as the South Sudanese. These people cannot be empowered to destroy us where we will not be able to recover this country, regardless of how much effort we will put in. So with that, I will turn to Nuëri. Inshallah, I'm going to share video with ba video mi check. Chiara ya kan ne ko don gore. Ba de lada chan ne ko ne chite la condolence, the family can tell la condolence. Chaka jogi lo dan coach go ran bo. Ko the chak gi begin wimuɔn. Mi jen ke mi ngaji mi jem ala kiji. Chi lo na the bus. Especially wuni. She would me jen ke lea me dang gang do do ge. She lea me je. So corona any lo dan a coach ka de ko ni jen wimuɔn ni chang confirm them dia. Men den sala chala the community. Chala the community ka kondia. Ngai kon and time go take a talk kamakal. Ready to talk makal. Kelketin ba alive. Kelketin ba alive. Ko Korea ter che name take makal le jaw no din je. Wo ga na door to door ke way machine. Hopefully don't be authority take makal. Be innocent Nuëri pen tong ba ka gang. Ko cha ga de na ko dum no ka ne bo. E bi ke dum ta mi dong chi chi je. Ke dum lo kan unity bo dong chi da ta mu. Jenu yene to lenga malabi yemo nyora gwami ba gangsin kamo yen gwawo jak ko tama dijede jane te yen je en unity international chato ko konjunu media dene talfa kene dene talfa dene gang ko kuma cha kam chonyade ko chonyade he wouldn't be teleje te loy ke teleje goy ke na general me nong ni rode not gonna yo not gonna power not gonna bomb ten che lat da lat ke wa chi wo je ko tele mi tele che cha kam yo ko da do lat kana do lat cha kam yo da ngo ko tele mi tele lo la ni ke yo de ko ya le na ka mi che yo go gi mi chi ke pe ne la ja mo ye ne kananan la ke na ko ide kana mala ka public service me te me di me mala kana tal organization me mala tin me te ri mala ina ka kan politics ba kana janga politics ba ko la ra mo right me ngi yo politics mo lo ko politics e wo bi na ku ne kun bi le ga la da mo ba kana la gentle mi nyu de gwa e da ra mo de kon me lo mi janda la ne te ta la kon to de le mo an kon to de ke je kon to de take understanding mo to la da la de che da je le ka ra te le mi le ne ta te je ta mi cha ni da mo te ke run jo che te na ko no ko je kon la ne on long ko mo de na le ko mo te da ben ko ara ni ba ko te me te le ke ke ku bere de ko jana de ko ba ko ta ga ta ye ku ka kore o gore je jang de ke na ga Nuëri ke Nuëri de ke na ga jang ko lu jang Nuëri bu ji jana gore lo ko no che to ko tem jana na che to ke mi to ma ka jana gore ko dong ga jang lu unite jang lu bi ni ga Nuëri ka te ga Nuëri jo ke ne me she dum Nuëri ga jang e dum ne ne te tene ke me che la da ju ma ka ke ju la en me ne ko la yen dia in che mare eu eneme chede me du makal kene chede me du lang kene nasser e dung dan kondia e du nan kondia unity mo bala da ba tem ba kak da ya lat kchen da to kchen alamen mo ne ni chole no re long e la ko bo no ba lat ki jal ke ka society ni dia altin ku succeed la ken jika la jike ne jal ke la jike ne jal ke ko ne politics la na jal ke tin ko te sana la je politics na jal ke no politics don't they take a part in the goal they take a part in the goal but me ta nun ke interest la yana lo ke ne to ko men do jak e du nu ne da la be ban kan je ko tan misal fakir me ko me no me tan no ro wan ka part in ko ken chan do no ra che de wana again unity no ko ne to ra ke to ke chan ta ka part in the goal but kon pal kor la kon na logo be kon lok rekta kon a gujin nak mi ke doro me jak la rekte chen ta te gwan don kon me da ka chen ta te wimuɔn and we speak now ne de succeed ka ne de la ke ka ne de jal ke ka ne de right ke ka ne de mi de ge mi jak ba ge ke mala re tirar ka mi ne kun jak kin na ngai ne de mi ne kun jak be jak mo wetra tan wala run bo te rek ko run mo ben ke ji ne de konte ci palme te ke ba yo pal do ko ca bu go ji ka yen ya tal me bi yen lo ja ko jin en chen me de lo ja mi ne ko de ke ga ko mi chama support mi chin te ke ge no ani yen kon dia de ke kon ja ke chong de ke go no way man ran kan ge ala wo no mi ro yen ta ko jinu Sudan regalo wo ram te di take a doctor da la ta la ne ko ken Manyam no agwan nyaga la dole ko wo be do cham ro ade chira rin tin ani me no mo do den no mo chi no ra le rewde no logo barar den be yak ko jan logo ba yak la logo barar den ba be yak ajena la ne ni mi chi ben mi chang ajena mi chang ni kan ni ji ka chi te pen chi ja do ji pen ke be yak be la ya jo ke kon ro je ko ban ku be ni ko ati bom no mo la no ra le Tom mo Nuëri Tom teke Nuëri poinde la ro to be ke dum la den ala wo mte la den mi change je la ro gore ra mo ma change je go be woga nen tem mi to ko ku jinu Sudan mi chen to ne ko ro den Nuëri wote e kan wo kan a chiang na de kan Nuëri enana Nuëri poinde cha no ge pi e ba change je ka la ra mi to che ta mo chin Nuëri ga le enana che o che gorbo ba be baralden ba be chang la nam tolo ka jan amla no ko be be cham ke kara che min chala wo ala to kon ke quality ni the thing. And now calling to raw, I can't call Mission and the money done. Michi rather than Mr. Ben. Here become a comedy. Laja come a comedy. No, I thought the other money leadership by a camera. Leadership here that may belong to Nuëri. Millennium Muguru or Ken. Kati Kiamugua. A palo de pay. Come Mujibo. Kadina wrong roll. Laja come to a quarter. Jama Jam above Guardian. Men look at Nuëri, a wobby beaching a jack. Logo will be a good intelligent. Logo will be a good take a million. Logo will be a lot of take a million now, Jinamu. It didn't go on. I want to make my home the dollar metal tactile unity. They're calling nothing will come to corner culture Muga. They're calling background, they're calling quality thing to go along. Timmy Chanaka, they'll go correct. Correct, remember, didn't along, it will be at a unit. They are dollar care. They are dollar care. They are not going to achieve the object in it all. Call me at the care. They are children not. Go in here to Guadun the tower, get a one on Guardian Lacan. Tayan care the native Oken. Matian care the native Oken, Misha right, Metamaladian Corodun Guardian to know. They are dumping by a, they are sure enough. A general could take a go, benign, integrate to society, Mother. And I make you work in any cocoon as a woman, the chair go to in any kid. A wo in a kid at all. Check a look, make it walk, okay? But to chime, we won't know one in a cocaine. Come here, do they in any cocaine? Shall we in any cook? Congregation migration, integration, kill migration, which migrate to Guardian, catch integrate to society, do then. Kawat talk, now in the 5 years, la just catamo. The Aram Kelkanator. When could you talk about the home? Some could you culture names or be culture in? Some could you move, then. But the Luji job, Luji can you kun like a door. I ain't trying to joke. Trying to joke, one the corner and wooden. Romney dignity done. Go to power. Tell me she can't be the care. 10 gold can now we want to come a bit. Can I talk right corner? More pocket corner than gold now. Jabon will tell the right corner. But yeah, come earlier, Timin down the corner care. I ain't message again. Chong the kell, more condition kell, Bana dog Banagalo. Take a conject determined. Shentam right corner, corridor tatter, take an hour to church. Take an hour to church to go to drill wall, lot of drill wall over them. And I go to Ladan Condia, go Banagalo. And it would drill water, drill wall in the Kanjig. Take nearly a George near the book of Mike Canal, Jagajoy door. Tell me something. Found it to walk on the little meeting and then be something. They go quite some kind of they can exact a unit. And I will appreciate Yanja Mangaja Kanen, Chick a bell chicken cook, native corner to Bunimi the Gangana. No more, I'm go along. And our community in the island are they can. Menan, mental middle long the din, long midi some. And they talk, long body around the army drill one. Toro a kind of sign of unity. Come Libyan as a road on the Toro. A rule la Yanka, the man you made down the chip again. Not to bend to good. Go and make around with wimuɔn. Man, I get on with wimuɔn, Shangiga. Shangiga making George and tell me she like the George, Shangiga. Telling me, don't be the Wiggy Walla, Shangiga. I will challenge to Terrier, and then Chang by the Naked. She and Chang the Bill Kid. Kotana, the leader, Chang Bill the Shangiga, Laga, La Cola, Nike Nick, Shangiga. Go make it when Chimule. Chimule mission our can. Chimule mission our lock. She won't let me see now gun. She won't let me see now man. She won't let me see one. So to all, I can't call a go around the Shangiga. That I'm talking around with their corner long overcome. Number one, then I need to go and go to the drill while they're going to make a drill. Then I can make me some kind. And then I can make a drill while they make me some kind. Number two, then I advocate, then I write community up. Then to East Africa, then a chance for doing a work demonstration. Then you're right, and then you go on a temple today. Go by a night to me take a telegraph in Sudan. Chagabanga na Mishiagalat. The yen work demonstration in the yen work Gamnagar, the yen right can name the corner to ye, go deck and island at us, taken us of Sudan, and injection Morocco, and a do. Mr. Corner let native the painted chicken below Lenny, cause chicken take quality engine. more la dun. Man ne ko ndero lutiri they can advocacy ama they can advocacy a powerful tool. Como lode wo regen te to ka ngeke. Ka ladje grupu man. Ladje ko chuna wichara, jeneni chu wichara. Bikin tiny or bikin use bikin deep cap bikin wear. Baga ngaji ta gaya. Ladje ko wo mete ga ramani elected official mangake be woga je bi gorbi meet ke bi gorwal ka. Biye lat mena to ko ye. Ladje ko wo mete ga ne de ngayen ke to elected official le ke ne ko ken ta power biya ga yor ka tal phone mi sha wo jire ke. Biya ga lan mena to ko ye. Regen to ko ye biya la na. Mo yena wala na biya ga la solution de. Ke solution ke men te kon bana la na. Tan bala no wo na ka kon. Ba biya la ba wo mu gor kon. Ke en ma gwaja e wo ram gor na gor ke. Am gor ko je nang na. Kara mo mo ayam no ko ba ko tele me bil yana ka ta. Le am ba mo tan de no sada. Ala ga na ra me ke na to ko chine gor de no sada. Ayo go no sada ko nyu ba ram gor ke na ba wo no. Na ma tele la dan. La dan go bana la na ne me ye. An advocacy me ke raje me la wala de. Ajene non ju no sada. Ne de chi bara arwa me ka America. Ne de wo Europe. Je kana wala ne dia la go re ta jene. Ajene kwa le wo lo gwe da. And now with more, said I wait to look at our around it. And a yen tea the langati, that is the name of Ken, Kiara, and Raja Malaya. And oh, show bit bar. Genmity, a jera make it for Kurunda, well, Badak, 1 year. A tea Runda, well, Badak, 1 year. Kid, the China rule, Bakella, 1 year. Marai Con and Tammy. They can tell you, was done with teeth indeed, I think. A gin check, a gin wood, did to them. They tell me the like a queen. I'm a you walk one gang and nothing. They don't make you a be a cup. They know what I would take them. Can you now no pew to their can watch them? Can you quantity a thought? Take it in the lot, he did the lot. Michigan let coach it to thin, Jalona recommend you to thin. There are all none. So Lenin and deal let go on none do. Cover the ramet, God takes the jerk. Doramo, she now wore a long while. You make a made an agent and people talk on time more, don't they land to cocaine? Had they land a well, I was trying to hope China you lose. Kachana you love the Ike religion. China you love Cheney Conrad, you won't one in the one that one. Go like a right, and tell a area go mulador. But another enemy take a beginning, take an end. Come with to all a problem, that's all bound. So you call lucky. Michabelat Chablunka, Chabu Benba, Tamalaraba. And other Missy Temple let it a quid order, the door of Gaba. And I can talk. Money can con, away Jesus of the Puja, Zayupa. Chayan. And on the say, don't make any landlord, don't cannon, chicken, and I don't get to. Making Christian, but me, round local. The imagination la do now, la do pal, a thought palwa. But me take a remedy body the Java treat. Me take a remedy no temper, but the lad of linear physically, show when you can yell because of the that's not true. Can call the Gorono. Coach a Goro corn banning in corn banatalat. Then you call no wimuɔn quid. Just center with me, General Dambo. So it made me quick, it won't hang up a bandage and the baby, a lot of case, a lot of a lot of name on me done. She thought. The betrayal. Don't be a condition made down to take a betrayal. Resolve it. I hope but ever ban Latin, the cool joy quite. Enka, any yen, she married. I'm a bit good and make an eject, she thought, can say eject. Come down and take a marker. Manaka word and take a marker, Lena, which I did in work, petition work. Can I move to a could you do? Jabugo, come over to one of the cocaine, Jabugo. A general quality of con Universities, then are united. Condia, Nuëri, Majun cocaine. And over one time I'm taking it. And now make a little doll, Gulank and another, go doll that you make lapping. So John did my lapping, chicken up. I would assume and all others, South Sudanese cocaine, that will be an honour. Nuëri, I did innocent, Mr. Metated, somebody like it. But Chajan Nan Gorka, I would really bell mill can a one look and consider. Any and Jarra long, Kachalam and answer me the day long. A jello I go long, cutting corner talk. Jello I long to corner talk, ka at a large book ka respond and then book tandun but yene kanan tamil ladamo lenma di lar midi ran mo bel midi ran mo ka war midi ran mo kon midi ran mo durwal midi ri war talpon chol di ran yodaka electoral official bi la regna to junu kana solution that lenige mu yo political let ci palalado ejen mu yo political let ci palalado and ba kogono ba ko nɛti bi rolong la ga jalke gor ko no bana rolong bana ran bana gi jalke te ci dor ko kon bana ga pal ko mo kon mo motin ba kon do gole to go ban motin ana ko ta mo thank you